The Mercenary King here with a set overview. I dig. We'll carry on later. I have to take care of this. So Rummy Labyrinth came out. It's fantastic. You can be sarcastic if you want, Hanson. I understand. But if you have needs. But you know, it's pretty good. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go by each clan and I'm going to divide this up into 2 videos. This first video I think will be Grand Blue. And then I'll move on to Pale Moon in the next video.
The better part.
Yeah, you're right, actually. Both these clans have... This set kind of does have some problems with it being a little schizophrenic. At this point, Cardfight Vanguard has a lot of baggage it needs to update all the time. For example, with Grand Blue, it's 7 Cs, Ghosties, Night Rose, and Generic. And sometimes things kind of fall in the gap, especially with the 7 Cs debacle. Now everything has to be restricted to grade 3. For example, 7 Cs Private Sticks. Forerunner, Auto Rearguard, put this unit into the Soul. When your other unit 7 Cs is put on Rearguard from Drop Zone, if you have a grade 3 or greater 7 Cs, pay the cost. If you do, choose a grade 1 or greater. And by the way, I'm going to be doing commons, rares, double rares, triple rares, and then the GR. I will assume you know what Original Night Rose does, but I'll go over it for you. Pay the cost. If you do, choose a grade 1 or greater 7 Cs from the Drop Zone, call it to Rearguard, and in turn retire that unit, which is typical. Honestly, this guy ain't too bad, and I think he is a pretty ideal 7 Cs starter if you do not want to run the rush. But then again, this guy gives you a pretty solid grade 3 rush turn, especially since he's not G-Break. Like, if you run with Pledgeton, he basically goes off instantly. And if you do it right, you can get a decent amount of advantage and whatnot. Matt the Ghosty. I do like this guy. In a Ghosty deck, of course. Act Rearguard, put this unit into the Soul, choose top 2 cards from the Drop Zone. If you put a Ghosty, Soul Charge 1. If you put 2 with Ghosties, Counter Charge. And that's just because Night Rose and Ghosty and all that jazz do use a lot of counterblasts. I just like them. I do like it better than having card advantage with Pete the Ghosty, but that's just me. I don't need card advantage as much with some of the cards I've been thinking about, especially since, you know, you can do it very well with like the grade 2 that kills something and gets you a draw. You know, but you need the counter charge and soul charge for some of these abilities. Screaming Banshee, also known as a feminist teacher. Political. Anyway, Screaming Banshee. Hollow, Auto GB1. When this unit is placed on Rearguard, choose one of your other Rearguards with Hollow, and it becomes Hollow, which is good for when you do that early rush. And it doesn't say from Rearguard from anywhere. So, like, let's say that you put out a bit of a rush with, say, the Skeletal Cannoneer and others. You could then call her out there, have it have Hollow, and things happen. And then when this unit is retired from Rearguard to the effects of the Hollow ability, you can bind it and you can draw a card. This is why I don't think you need it as much hard card advantage. Because I would run this in a Ghosty deck, because Ghosties have a decent amount of Rearguards that have abilities. Crusher Francesca. Just so you know, Francesca is a female form of Frankie. So she is a Frankenstein's monster. Except sexy and lolly, because that's how it goes. Hanson, Kitty, on a scale of 1, which is something like, I don't know.
Adelaide.
Yeah, Adelaide. Whew! Anyway, no. In anime, on a scale of 1, which is like your typical, you know, legal adult woman, to, in like, say... Pacifica. You know, to a 10, which is, to a 10, you know, which is more of, you know, pure lolly like Francesca. You know, because I'm not biased at all. And, you know, a 5 somewhere like My Little Sister Can't Be This Cute. You know, what would you place Crusher Francesca? You know, she's like a solid 8, I think, right? Right? In the scale, sliding scale of lolliness?
That skirt doesn't do it for me.
Damn it, Kitty. Damn it, you and your fashion sense. Dead of the 7 Seas Aurelio. I do like the Dandy series, and I kind of wish they had said Dandy of the 7 Seas Aurelio, but hey, he's pretty great. His smile of satisfaction will charm anyone. I like it. I like him a lot, and I like the other dandies of the seas. Just because that's something that does it for me. Like, there's a grade 2 that nobody plays that like gets plus 6k for no reason if it's hollowed, and you have a Night Rose, and he unflips damage if he hits. Like, it, there's a lot of work that you can do with these guys. Howard the Ghosty goes on the Soul plus 3k. He's good for any Ghosty deck. 7 Seas Dragon Undead Scavenge Dragon, just another 7 Seas crit. Then we have Quincy the Ghosty. I do like these guys' smiles. They're so happy despite being dead and pirates. I mean, though, if I was dead and a pirate and I wouldn't die again, I'd be pretty happy too, I think. Except you gotta realize the horror of Mick the Ghosty and his family. Just saying, that's his family with him. Dead. Quincy the Ghosty. Act Drop Zone GB1. Counterblast 1, choose a grade 0 and put it at the bottom of the deck. Call this card to open rearguard. Now, you can use her with some people like Screaming Banshee and others, basically to filter triggers back in, and there are cards that let you shuffle the deck and take non-triggers out, which is the build I'm currently working on. Auto rearguard, retire this unit. So it's a hollow Ghosty mix. When your Vanguard with Ghosty and its card name is attacked, pay the cost if you do choose one of your Vanguards, and it gets plus 5k until end of turn. I don't really care for this ability, but it is a very good defensive ability, and if you use it with Negro Lily, you can actually get some pretty good combos off of it, though sadly it is only when it is attacked. It is not during the attack phase or something like that. Some wording that would let you do it multiple times with Night Rose's ability. Jackie the Ghosty. Hollow. Auto rearguard GB1 when this unit attacks Vanguard plus 2k. The fact that it's GB1 makes that ability bad, but the other ability, continuous rearguard, if it's hollow plus 2k and intercept, is okay. The problem is that the plus 2k and intercept, the intercept is only good on the opponent's turn using Negro Lily, because a lot of Ghosty abilities do combo off of Negro Lily. And I feel that if this wasn't GB1, we'd actually have a really good thing. Even if these were switched so that this was a GB1, it would still be good. Just because you can play him early game for a bit of rush. Madness Frankie, hollow. Act Drop Zone GB1, Counterblast 1, choose a grade 0, rearguard and tap it. By the way, you don't need these things stood to use them, so. Call this card to rearguard as hollowed and it gets plus 4k. I don't like him. Part of the reason is the Counterblast cost. If he was a Soul Blast or literally anything else, it'd be better. 7 Seas Shipmate Night Alert. Counterblast 1, 7 Seas when this unit is placed on rearguard from the drop zone. In other words, like through Pledgerton, if you have a grade 3 or greater with 7 Seas, pay the cost if you do until end turn plus 2k. And put this unit into the soul. When your Vanguard attacks, pay the cost if you do draw a card. Basically, if your opponent's at grade 2, you can use this for a bit of rush. And the fact that he charges up the soul is great. Even though there aren't a lot of soul using abilities in 7 Seas, it still allows you to use Gauche, when otherwise you couldn't. Really, too much. Not the focus, anyway. Skeleton Marauder, hollow. This is the same thing as Madness Frankie. Act Drop Zone GB1, Counterblast 1, choose one of your grade 1s and tap it. And I don't like that at all. Like, that's more hurtful than the other thing is. Call this unit to rearguard as hollowed, and it gets plus 4k until end of turn. Whatever. It's a 12k attacker for a counterblast. That's not worth it. There are other things you can do. Hesketh the Ghosty. Auto, when this unit is placed on rearguard, if this unit gets plus 3k until end of turn, if the number of cards on your drop zone with Ghosty is in your card name is 3 or less, tap this unit. Okay, that's not bad, but in a Ghosty focused deck, that's not going to be a problem. Act rearguard once per turn. Counterblast 1. Put one card in the top of the deck into the drop zone. If that card is a card with Ghosty, stand this unit and it gets plus 3k. So let's say that it does come out tapped. You can counterblast, put the top card in, restand it, and it's essentially a 15k attacker with cards like I don't know. This unit like Jackie the Ghosty with the 9k, that's 24k. It does work. It does work. I like Hesketh in a Ghosty focus deck. Clemmy the Ghosty. Now, this guy I like a lot. During your turn, if the number of cards in your drop zone is 5 or more, plus 2k. If the number of cards with Ghosty are 10 or more, plus 5k. So in a Ghosty focus deck, he's a 16k attacker. And then continuous G-Guard. If the number of cards in your drop zone with Ghosty in the card name is 10 or more, this unit gets plus 5k. And that, I don't care. But the main thing is this guy is a 16k attacker that doesn't go away, doesn't need Hollow, doesn't need Nitros. He just needs a ghosty focus deck like Hesketh and Quincy the Ghosty. I like him a lot. I like his art a lot. He's just a card that does it for me. You know what I mean? Like everyone gets cards occasionally that just do it for them. This all like the Ghosties are for some reason I think are just really cool. Not cool, cute. Like it's adorable, bloodthirsty. Like adorable, but bloodthirsty. Anyway. Fabian the Ghosty, the fanciest Ghosty in all the 7 seas. The magnificent first place in the rankings of Ghosties that Ghosties admire. Hollow, Auto, Vanguard, Rearguard. When this unit attacks a Vanguard, plus 4k. He's just one of those plus 4ks that Pale Moon and others do have. And then Counterblast 1, when this unit is put into the drop zone from your deck, pay the cost, call this card to open Rearguard as hollowed. And I don't like the Counterblast cost, but honestly, it's not too bad. I do like him a bit, and he's the perfect secondary Vanguard for Night Rose, Ghosties, or anything else. And the fact that he's a 14k attacker will upgrade so much stuff. Guile Shade, Forerunner, Hollow, Auto Rearguard, Counterblast 1 puts the unit into the soul. When you attack with Night Rose and the card name hits a Vanguard, pay the cost if you do. Choose a grade 1 from the drop zone, call it to Rearguard, and plus 3k. Drop zone, G-Break 1. Soul Blast 1, choose a grade 1 or greater Rearguard, and tap it. Call this card to open R as hollowed. Now, I'm going to take a second to talk about this card. And where's the other card? I think Frankie? Maybe it's Frankie. I can't remember. There was another card I was thinking of. What? Francesca. Point is, with this card, there was an infinite loop people figured out within 5 minutes of being released. Pretty much 5 minutes. It's and so they had to limit it up and rewrite the skill because they expected it. Now, Bushiroad does not understand the meta in America or Japan, honestly. Like, they just don't understand it. They're putting out a game and they expect their mechanics to work because they don't understand competition, especially with how Americans view it. Now, I think I like the American way of viewing things because I'm an American and it works for me. But basically, Americans are all about the competition. We like the competition. We like competing against each other. For our foreigner people out there. And it's one of those things, like I was talking to a girl I was dating who was Chinese. And, she's like, I don't get it. Like, you Americans seem to fight all the time. And I was like, we're not fighting. We're not really fighting with intent to, be angry at each other or to hate each other or all that jazz. Sometimes we do get, our vendettas and whatnot. But, it's all par for course. Like, it is looked down upon if you are conflict avoidant. Even if people don't realize it, if you have to choose someone who's honest with you and someone who's not honest with you, you're going to choose the honest person guaranteed. Like, no matter what the dishonest person says, unless they have a really, really good sales mechanic. Like, they don't understand that basically as soon as the card comes out, everyone, including myself and others, look to see how can I fuck over the other guy in an enjoyable manner for me, at least, and preferably for him also, but I'm not going to work for it. And so they rewrote her ability. I can't remember what cost they added to it. Maybe the one that puts it into the soul. Because I think it's stuck out there basically the entire time. And maybe the tapping, I can't remember. But basically, you could infinitely loop it with the 7 Seas cards. With some of the 7 Seas cards that didn't require 7 Seas Vanguard. And that works fine. I don't care. I never played really 7 Seas Rush anyway. I played 7 Seas, so. I think she's a good starter still, and I might run her in a Shade-focused Night Rose deck. But honestly, I'm not really feeling Night Rose and Shades so far. But there are some cards I do like. I do like this card, Swordmaster Mimic. I do have it in my Night Rose deck right now, though the shinier one, not the rare version. Hollow. Auto G-Break 1 when this unit is placed on Rearguard from drop zone, this unit gets plus 3k. And if it's hollow, choose another unit and it gets plus 3k. So the reason why you like him and others is that even though they don't provide abilities, they do make up for deficiencies in the attack power of your units. Now you might say, well, I run Negro Rook and I'm fine. Yeah, but this is besides Negro Rook. Like, this guy gives plus 6k to a column in the column that he's placed in, or it gives plus 10k booster and to like a Negro Rook column, and then gives plus 3k to your Skeletal Cannoneer. That's why he's good. That's why he's worth playing. And I really think that his underutilization is one of the more, not a tragedy or anything like that, but it is it really should be changed up. Like, I think that people run weaker grade 1 rear guards, but then don't really focus on him. Now, keep in mind, I'm not, like, all updated on the latest and greatest meta, because that's not how I play. Now, if it's changed up and he is there, I'm happy. Fatal Shade, Hollow. Auto GB1, Soul Blast 1, put this unit card in the bottom of your deck. When this unit is retired from rear guard due to the effect of Hollow, if you have a Vanguard with Night Rose, pay the cost. If you do, choose a non-grade 1 card from your drop zone, call it to rear guard. Basically, you can summon out Skeletal Cannoneer. That's sort of like the big one. Also, you can do things like Screaming Banshee. And what was the other one I was thinking about? Hesketh? No, not Hesketh. You know what? I can't remember what the other one is. But basically, there are a bunch of cards that you can utilize to summon out for card advantage. That isn't grade 1. Was I looking at these? I think I was making a mistake. Anything that can be comboed up multiple times, like Grenache. That's probably the biggest one, I think. Also, other things. Can you loop it? No, it has to go in the soul. Which technically you could loop it through these. Basically, you hollow it, kill it. So last one for this unit. Put this card in the bottom of the deck. Summon it out into soul. You have another one in there. Bottom of the deck. Soul blast it. Summon it out. In this, if you want to like burn through your deck. But there you go. There's a combo you can do. Alright, so that's Fatal Shade. I do like her. I'm probably going to run a couple of her if I don't go full ghosty. Tommy the Ghosty Brothers, Stride Enabler, and it searches out Narrows, which is very valuable, I guess. 7 Seas, Crack Soldier, Meth Soldier, Night Jasper, Cocaine Soldier. Auto Rearguard, put 2 units in the top of the deck into the drop zone. When this unit attacks the Vanguard, pay the cost until end of battle this unit gets. When this unit attack hits, if you have a Vanguard with 7 Seas, Countercharge, Soul Charge. I don't really see the point of him running him early, and I don't really know why why this helps, because even though this does like take a counterblast, you don't use too many counterblasts to begin with, unless you tech in Night Rose and others. But I guess he's useful. I just wish he gained power or something, like plus 2k. King Serpent, the classic. Auto, when this unit is placed on rear guard from drop zone, Soul Charge 1, choose a card in your drop zone, turn it face up. Everyone runs him in Night Rose. Mostly. Eclipse Dragon Hulk Jumble Dragon. Stride, blah, blah, blah. When this unit is placed on Vanguard, choose 4 cards from the top of the deck into the drop zone. This unit gets plus 5k for every non-trigger. If you have 2 or more trigger units, you can choose a card from your drop zone and call it to rear guard. I like this guy as a first Stride if you're not running Gauche, like I am, just because you don't like Gauche, because you can use the soul for better things, like, say, Fatal Shade. And Negro Lily? Not Negro Lily. The grade Counterblast 1, Soul Blast 1 card. Without restraint. Not that Gauche is a bad card. I just don't care for him too much. I have an SP and everything. It's on sale. Anyway, I do like him as a first Stride if you don't need G-Break too. Also, he doesn't use any resources except for deck. So, if you need to get your deck started and you don't want to run Obadiah the Ghosty King, run him. Negro Mode. Depeche Mode. Diabolus of the Tombs, Depeche Mode. Auto, Soul Blast 1. This unit is placed on G if the number of cards in your drop zone is 5 or more. Pay the cost if you do.
Hello.
I'm shaking my head slowly.
Yeah.
Plus 5k. And if it's 10 or more, plus 5k. 15 or more, plus 5k. This gets progressively better the longer you play the game. However, I don't think it really replaces Negro Lily too well. However, I am going to be running this as my generic Stride, because I like this better than having to G-break it, especially with the new guy and others.
Okay.
Alright, now let's talk about the triple rares, the double rares and all that, just real quick. So we have, the first one is Seawall Banshee. Seawall Banshee skill is a perfect shield, hollow, sentinel. Auto G-break 2, Soul Blast 1, choose a card from your hand, discard it, choose another Seawall Banshee from the drop zone, put it in the bottom of the deck. By the way, there's a lot of ways to avoid deck out with Night Rose, and I am not happy about it. When the hollowed unit is retired, if you have a Vanguard with Night Rose in the card name, pay the cost. If you do, return this card to hand. Okay. You know, honestly, it's a better skill than a lot of people like give it credit for. But the -1 card from hand is hard. What's up? Is there something I should know? This isn't the trades. This is the sell binder. This is my wealth.
Better.
I know. Capitalism, man. It feels good. Maltreat Shade, Hollow. Auto G break 1. When this unit is retired from rearguard, do the effect of your Hollow ability. If you have a Vanguard with Night Rose, you may put this card in the bottom of the deck. Again, not decking out here, but at the same time you can't spam it, which is good. Countercharge 1. Auto rearguard. When this unit attacks, if you have a Vanguard with Night Rose in the card name, plus 2k for each of your hollowed units until end of battle. That's okay. I'm not too excited about this one, but I do like the countercharge quite a bit because it frees us from the over-reliance on Grenache, which isn't a bad thing. I just, don't like Grenache as much as other people seem to. I wish I didn't have to run him as much. Ghostly Leader Demetria. Auto Vanguard. When the rearguard is retired, choose a normal unit with the grade less than this unit, that unit, and Ghosty. In other words, from Hollow. That's what we're saying. And by the way, you can spam this. Oh, nope, you can't spam it. I wish you could spam it. You may call it to rearguard. If you do, this unit loses this ability. So you basically get it once, and then that's it. Obviously, you use it during the end phase after your stride goes away. And then you use it to get cards like the Ghosty that gives you plus 5k power. Auto Soul Blast 2 Ghosties. Or rather, no, you Soul Blast 2 with the Species Ghost. When this unit is placed on Vanguard, by the way, the bottom one is called Species, right? He's not paying attention. Pay the cost. If you do, reveal cards from the top of your deck until a grade 1 card is revealed. By the way, that's very dangerous because you could burn through a lot of strides. When this unit is placed on Vanguard, choose a grade 1 Ghosty, put it into your hand, put the rest in the drop zone. I do like the fact that she's basically paying for it, and you get card advantage for the Soul Blast too. She is a great card to use when you're not on stride or you're facing anyone with a grade rush deck that doesn't allow you to stride. Come on. 7 Seas Dignitary Knight Ziola. I should run. Anyway, Auto Vanguard's LB4. So it's the Limit Break 4 stride. Is this a guy or a girl? I can't tell. Counterblast 1. Damn transsexual pirates. Counterblast 1. 7 Seas. Choose 2 cards with 7 Seas from your hand. Discard them. At the end of battle, this unit attack to Vanguard. Pay the cost. If you do, put this unit into the G zone face up. Choose a grade 3 7 Seas and its card name from the drop zone. Write it on Vanguard as tapped. So here's the combo. You use his skill. You break ride with Pledgeton on top of Night Mist. There we go. Night Mist. And then you basically get 3 cards, 2 of which have plus 5k, plus all the other skills that you are generally attached to. The only thing is you can't attack with it, which I think would be just the perfect thing. However, there's so much advantage that you could get out of it, I don't blame them. So then we're going to talk about Vampire Princess of Starlight, Night Rose. She's the new Night Rose. She has Hollow, so she's searchable by various means. Vanguard, Rearguard, once per turn, G-Break 2, Soul Blast 1. When your unit is placed on another Rearguard from drop zone, pay the cost. If you do, choose a grade 1 card from your drop zone, call it to another Rearguard, same column as this unit. So basically, if you place on a Rearguard, and I do like this skill of hers that she's placeable on Rearguard, you basically get a full column out of it. I think that the Rearguard thing makes her really, really good, whereas before just having Vanguard skills does not. Victor and Victor are the 2 best cards of set 10 in the sense that they still work with each other, and Night Rose and Night Rose work the same. Auto Vanguard Counterblast 1, when your unit strides, pay the cost if you do. Choose a card from your drop zone, call it to Rearguard, and if it has Hollow, plus 3k. That's okay. Like, that skill's just okay. Honestly, it's one of those things that you play in tandem with other cards that gain more power. But like if you called out Swordmaster Mimic, that would be like 9k that's given out. So it's like 16k by himself. Well, with a 3k that's to something else. You just have to run with it. Negro Songer. Auto Vanguard Counterblast 1. Choose a face down copy of itself, turn face up. And then choose a card from your hand, discard it. At the end of battle, this unit attacked, pay the cost. If you do, look at 4 cards from the top of the deck, put 1 card among them into the drop zone, shuffle deck. Choose a card from the drop zone, call it to Rearguard, and it gets plus 5k for every stand-up card a face-up card in your G-Zone until end of turn. Now, sure, you could run this as first stride, but I would not. What you would do is you would run this card late in the game as if it was a Blizza. So basically, you run through your normal skills, you make sure you have one Counterblast left. You use his skill, flip it over, choose a Negro Rook, and by the way, 3 strides in, you should have about 5 cards in your G-Zone, 6 cards, actually including the card he flipped over. So you summon a Negro Rook with plus 30k with it. And then, honestly, if you run Nitros and others, like if you don't run a deck that runs Gash, you can play the Soul Blast and you can start doing shenanigans to give it more power. Like you can, let's say you stood her, or she still stood, but you don't have a card behind her. Call out a Swordmaster Mimic, plus 3k to herself, plus the 10k boost of a Swordmaster Mimic. So she's 24k by herself, plus whatever triggers you gave her, because you gave the trigger somewhere. I've got 2 SPs. I'm happy. I'm gonna go get Dragut real quick, but before that, we're gonna step by the reprint Nitros. Yay! Auto Vanguard, once per turn, G-Break 2, put top 3 cards in the deck into the drop zone, rearguard into the drop zone, pay the cost, call the card to rearguard. I should not have to go over all the combos that we have here, but just in case, you can use Grenache multiple times in a turn. I think that's a sufficient explanation. And then it's Auto Vanguard, Counterblast 1, Genius Strides, choose a card from your drop zone, call it to rearguard, plus 2k. Same thing, it's fine. Now we're going to talk about Dragut, and guess what? I've got an SGR. I'm so happy. Overcome despair and come forth. The future is here. Act Vanguard once per turn. G-Break 2. Counterblast 2. Choose a card from your hand. Discard it. Choose up to the same number of cards in drop zone as the number of rearguards. Number of cards from your drop zone. The same number of your rearguards and call them the separate rearguards. Circles. And for each unit with the hollow that was called, the opponent chooses one of his or her rearguards, retires them. If your opponent has no rearguards, you draw a card. So, Dragut is one of those cards that people are going to run one of, but never use, much like Ogma. Of which I have 2 SGRs that no one seems to want to buy. It makes me sad. So, the problem with him, and, he should really just be able to call as many cards from the drop zone into rearguard circle as you have cards in the G zone. Like, that would make him good. And then you run all the other skills. But I think that would make it too easy. I don't know what they're scared of him about. Even though the once per turn is kind of needed, it's an act. There's some things about this card I don't understand the design decisions against. And so I think that ultimately they shot themselves with a foot in this design, much like they shot themselves in the foot with Ogma. I'm not going to talk about combos too much because I've been talking about combos throughout the entire night. I think the starters are some of the better cards. Where's my other starter? I lost it somewhere. If you've seen it, tell me. I have seen my hat. So, it's just over there. What do I care? I think the starters of the set of the Grand Blue stuff is actually some of the better cards in the set, just because of the fact that they unlock so much and they do so much for you. Even though you might say, well, this is just a counter charge and a soul charge. Well, yeah, a soul charge and a counter charge with Gash. You know what I mean? It's nice. It has use. You run this card early on, slide it in the soul, and you just wait. Especially if you're running resources early on. That covers the Grand Blue stuff. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you guys have some really great ideas that you share with us in the comments. Like, comment, and subscribe. Come by May 20th for the stand-up series. I'm not going to say I'm going to be naked, but I'm going to be naked the entire time. No, I'm going to be in a kilt the entire time. Anyway, hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. Like, comment, and subscribe. IYG. Behold! The Mercenary King here with a set overview for Pale Moon. I love Circuses of Fear. Let me tell you something. If you want me to love a book, you gotta put a Circus of Fear in it. I am actually putting in one of my novels a gag where, the heroes are put into a Circus of Fear, and they're like, in our last adventure, we fought a Nazi that could shoot lightning in the ruins of the Tower of Babel, where Nimrod was stuck in a tower trying to eat us and absorb our human forms to escape the prison of stone that he had been made in. You know, you can't, don't have anything like that. And the gags will go like she has a lion and he eats them. Anyway, I love Circuses of Fear so much, and I love Pale Moon. I love Alice. I love Harry. I love Crimson Beast Tamer. What?
The balls.
You know what? If Crimson Beast Tamer's on a ball, I'm okay with that. You know what I mean? In lore, they're assassins, but you can't really see it too well. Like the knife throwers, you can kind of see it, and it's like, you know, 1, oh, he didn't hit 1, 2, and then he turns around and hits someone in the audience that you've been paid to hit. And it's like, oh, looks like there was a contract on Mr. Belvedere. Guess he shouldn't have accepted those weird free tickets he got into the mail for a contest he didn't enter.
Wouldn't it be weirder if they actually look like assassins?
No.
Well,
like, yeah, but there's like no weapons for most of them.
That's just they're hidden.
Yes.
They're good at their job.
Right, but maybe I want one that's bad at their job, okay?
You mean Lukier?
Yeah, pretty much. She's more of a BDSM anyway. Mistress. Like, if you read some of the lore for some of her support characters, it reads like that. It's disturbing. Not really. Silverthorn. Oh, hey. Silverthorn Beast Tamer. A lot. Auto Rearguard. Choose another unit. Choose this unit and another Rearguard with Silverthorn and put them into the soul. Now, I see a lot of this in the new Silverthorn stuff, and I don't like it. At the end of your turn, because I feel that it's a minus for not a lot of pluses, because their pluses aren't that strong. Even with the new stuff. End of your turn, if you have Vanguard with Silverthorn card name, at least it isn't Lukier, pay the cost if you do countercharge 1. Choose up to 1 grade 3 from your soul, put it into your hand. Now that last ability makes it pretty good. I still do not like the fact that you lose rearguards for it. Nightmare Doll Natalie. I love Nightmare Dolls. And they are the future. Women, look out. I'm no longer going to need you in a bit. As soon as it comes in from Japan. It's going to be great.
You're gross. I mean, that's one thing if like you give it a knife or something. That's...
Okay, you know what? I see this. It has a knife. It has a knife.
I don't know, but I meant the one that's coming in from Japan.
Oh, no, it has a katana. I needed that katana.
No, it needs to be a
it's
knife.
part of it.
It's creepier for knife.
No.
Because
She picks up the knife
she
later.
just got it from the kitchen.
Right, yeah. From my kitchen. It's a dull knife. All my knives are dull as shit for no reason. So, you know, it's going to be one of those things where I'll die a long, slow, hard death when the AI revolution finally happens.
Yeah.
This is 2030, everyone. 2030. I'm calling it right now.
No, that's when your love robot stabs you with your rusty knives. And
yeah, exactly.
Like, damn it, Ben.
Damn it.
Damn it, Ben.
It does make delicious onions for the chili, though, if you have a rusty knife. Anyway. Counterblast 1. Put this unit into the soul. You see this hand? Kitty, you bring out the worst in it. The worst. It's kind of like under the surface there. Look at 3 cards from the top of the deck. Put 1 card among them into the soul, the other 2 in the bottom of the deck in any order. If you put a Nightmare Doll, by the way, you can make basically a full Nightmare Doll deck now. Card name into the soul. Look at 3 cards from the top of the deck. Put 1 card among them into the soul, and then you shuffle the deck. I like the deck thing. I don't like the counterblast, but hey, honestly, you don't use counterblast for too much, and there are unflips that you can run. Vanishment Draco Kid, the new heal. It is not as cute as Crusher Francesca, and I am very unsatisfied with this, especially when they have like cards like Popcorn Boy and another clown that looks so much better and cuter and just more lovable. And then there's this dragon. It's like, hi guys, and the kids start crying. Nightmare Doll Sydney. I do think you can run draws in Nightmare Doll because they do have hand advantage problems. In other words, they have no hand advantage. Nightmare Doll Wendy, the crit we've been needing, but we didn't know until she popped up. Explode Gentle. Magia, Act, Rearguard, G-Break 1, tap this unit. If you choose a grade 1 or greater card from your soul, call it to Rearguard that this unit is on. And it gets plus 4k until end of turn, and at the end of turn, put that unit into the soul. So,
it kills itself.
It kills itself, but you call it from the soul anyway. The problem with the new Harry support is that a lot of it soul blasts. And so there's not a lot of room for him. However, if you're running original Harry with the Magia stuff that soul charges, he is actually a pretty good unit to call, especially if you're running Puss in Boots. And then we have Sky High Walker. Into Soul, Pale Moon Vanguard, choose one of your cards from your damage zone, turn your face up. You can spam him, and it's hilarious. Because you like counterblast out, summon it out, put it back in, put it out, put it back in. It's great. It's great. In, out, in, out, in, out. And he's a trapeze artist. No, he's a cannon. He's shot out of a cannon. Right at the throat of somebody, probably. Oh, it looks like Mr. Belvedere's. Hit again! Wow, he's tough. Immortal target. Magia, auto. Counterblast 1. When this unit is placed on rearguard from soul, pay the cost if you do choose. This isn't G-Break, by the way. Choose a card from your soul, call it to another rearguard, same column, and then until end of turn. And at the end of the turn, put the unit into the soul. You can use them basically to summon out free columns, but the counterblast skill is pretty beefy. Act rearguard once per turn. G-Break 1, Soul Blast 1 until end of turn. This unit gets plus 2k. And continuous rearguard. This unit cannot be put into the soul by card effects. I don't much care for that skill, and again, it's a Soul Blast, and there's no reason it shouldn't go back into soul. None. Like, unless you are facing Diablo, and that's it. Like, he's not a good card to play, is what I'm trying to say. He's the same as Madness Frankie and Skeletal Privateer, or whatever his name is. Marauder. There we go. Skeletal Marauder. Silverthorn Clown Cernay. Auto rearguard G-Break 1. Put this unit into the soul. Choose a card from your hand and discard it. At the end of battle, this unit boosted a Vanguard. Pay the cost. And that limitation to Vanguard is kind of like, pay the cost if you do. Choose a card from your soul with Silverthorn, call it to rearguard. Why do you have to discard a card from this, from hand for this? I don't know. I don't think it makes it good. Auto soul counterblast 1 unit with Silverthorn. The card name is placed on rearguard from soul. Oh, hey, look, a reason. If you have a Vanguard with Lukier, card name, pay the cost, call this card to rearguard. So yeah, sure, like you can slip it out and slip it back out. I see the combo. The combo isn't hard to get, but really, do you want to spend a card from hand and a counterblast, where this has to be behind the Vanguard, and then it's stuck at whatever position you put it in? It's a little bit annoying. Though I do see why they chose cards like this, so it goes back into soul, and then you summon it back out, but it still doesn't go behind the Vanguard, unless you make it. Like, the combos there are there for the taking. However, I still don't think them worth. Maybe I'll change my mind as I go through, as I often do. Nightmare Doll Juliet, she was a promo that came with one of the Bushiroad magazines. Auto rearguard G-Break 1 with this unit boost, Soul Charge 1. There's cards that on play Soul Charge and on boost hit Soul Charge, but this is the first one. Am I missing a grade 1? Unprofessional. Unprofessional. No. No. No.
You get top hat, Silverthorn 1.
Yeah.
And now you're not missing any.
Oh, right, yeah, that's a grade 2. I forgot. Okay, we're good. Nightmare Doll Gerda. I love her art, but I hate her name. Gerda is a dumb name. It should be like Gertrude or something, maybe. I don't know. But the art's fantastic. Auto, when this unit is placed on rearguard, reveal 3 cards from the top of the deck. If all of the cards have Nightmare Doll, choose a card among them, put it into the Soul Shuffle deck. She's just a really necessary card for Nightmare Dolls. The fact is that Nightmare Dolls do have a problem getting cards into Soul. Their Soul Charge mechanics are overshadowed by the fact that a lot of them have on-hit or on-call mechanics. Her mechanic, to top 3 choose 1, is great. It really does, especially in a Nightmare Doll focused deck. Dancing Knife Dancer. When this unit attacks, this unit gets plus 2k. At the end of battle, this unit attacked the Vanguard. If it didn't hit, put this unit into the Soul. I like him. You know, he's good. He's great if you're not running full Harry or anything like that. Basically, he's a non-Harry card that isn't like Silverthorn or Nightmare Doll. Throwing Bear, same thing as the other guy. Magia Auto Counterblast 1. This unit is placed on rearguard from Soul. Pay the cost if you do choose a card from Soul. Call it to another rearguard, same column, and then put that unit back into the Soul. And then act rearguard once per turn. G-Break 1, Soul Blast 1 until end of turn. This unit gets plus 2k, and continuous rearguard. This unit cannot put into a Soul. By card effects. Now, there are ways to hit some pretty high numbers with this and push yourself above like 20k and other things. Basically, I think the max I can think of right now is 27k, unless you run cards that give more power to rearguards. Like that's with Harry. I think actually with Millward you could hit 31k. No, hold on. 10k. He's a 10k. You can give him plus 4k, and then you summon out Knife Dancers. So he is, yeah, like 30k. You can hit like 30k or more. However, I don't really think it's worth it too much. Like he's in the same boat as this guy in Skeletal Marauder. You know, you can't really play him. Hibbert. Silverthorn, acute dragon. Not a cute dragon, it's an acute dragon. Like a... Anyway. Auto, G-Break 1. When this unit is placed on rearguard, if you have a Vanguard with Lukier, this unit gets plus 2k. So he's an 11k attacker. That's nice. Then rearguard, G-Break 1. When your other unit is placed on rearguard from Soul, if you have a Vanguard with Lukier, this unit gets plus 2k. So, like, you might be thinking to yourself, oh, hey, you're an all-star. Get your game on. No. You know, obvious combo with this. But the problem is that this only hits 20k. There has to be other things to hit it above that. However, I do think this is a pretty good card on its own. Just because it does get it. If you have multiple rearguards that summon out, I was just pointing out the obvious combo here, but if you can do it multiple times, he does get more based on it. But the 11k base alone is itself satisfying. Silverthorn Masher Dragon. Auto. When this unit is placed on Vanguard or rearguard, top 3, choose 3 cards with 3 different grades. Choose up to 3 cards with different grades. Silverthorn card name. Put them into Soul. Rest at the bottom of the deck in any order. And this unit gets plus 2k for every card put into Soul. I do like him a bit, quite a bit more than the other support, just because he gets so much. I have something to say.
It's not Lukier.
You're right, it's just Silverthorn. Then we have Pleasure Caster. Now this and Puss in Boots and the trial deck one are sort of like in a race to see which one is best for Harry. Each one has their own advantage. Auto Forerunner. Soul, Auto Soul, G-Break 1. Counterblast 1. At the beginning of main phase, if you have a Vanguard with Harry, pay the cost. If you do, Soul Charge 1, call this card to rearguard, and it's a 7k booster. Auto Rearguard. Soul Blast 1, put this unit into the Soul. At the end of turn, you may pay the cost, choose one of your rearguards with Magia, and return it to hand. Now, I like this card's first ability a lot, just because of the fact that it summons out with other things at the beginning of main phase. You know, after this, do it, and you get Soul Charge, and you get plus 2k. G-Break is not a problem. But the problem with this is that the way most Harry decks are played, most Magia decks are played, you don't really have the ability to return a Magia deck to hand before G-Break. However, you know, there are ways to do it, and I don't think it's completely useless. I just don't, this isn't the ideal for me. However, it has a lot of combos. Just so you know, the other one gives hand advantage and Soul Charge, and Puss in Boots gives guaranteed 2 slots or 3 slots filled with rearguards. So it's what you choose. Like, this is the balance between them, and it's not a bad balance. The counter charge is a little steep. Just so you guys noticed, I don't, maybe you did, maybe you didn't, there isn't a lot of counter charge in this deck. In fact, there's no counter charge except for like this card. And this card for Silverthorn only. So it doesn't count. Then we have Masquerade Bunny, which is Stride Enabler and searches out Harry's. Then we have Nightmare Doll Lisa. Auto G-Break 1 when this unit is placed on rearguard from Soul. Do the effect of your Workroy plus 3k, and then at the end of the turn you can countercharge. It doesn't do it during turn because it would be OP, and you can combo it off infinitely with Alice. This is the countercharge Nightmare Doll needs, and I hope we get more in the future. Because it is quite expensive to play Nightmare Dolls, counterblast-wise, especially if you want to go for a kill turn. Dagger Magician Eddie. Magia Auto, when this unit is placed on rearguard from hand, if you have a Vanguard with Harry, choose a grade 2 or greater card from Soul, call to rearguard, same column as this unit. And there are ways to do it with cards like Trapeze Artist and a few others that gain a lot of power. And then if you called him out with an ability that gives him power, like say a 5 plus 5k, you can hit 27k easy. And then at the end of turn, put it back in a Soul. That's fine. That's normal. I do like this guy a lot. Auto rearguard, put this unit into the Soul. End of turn. If you have a Vanguard with Magia, pay the cost if you do Soul Charge 1. I wish it was a counter charge 1. I really, really do. I have some cards in my sort of collection that I'm sort of experimenting with counter charge. However, a lot of it's on hit or it's just a little bit restricted. And I understand that they want to keep Harry from becoming powerful. But then again, you spent half a set on him and you haven't given him like any spammable abilities. Like, can you think of a really spammable ability? Because you can do it in Night Rose. No. Kitty can't. And that's typical for Kitty.
But then again, a lot of the support in the set is contingent on you being on the new Harry.
Yeah. But even, like, the thing about the new Harry is that I dig him, but I feel that he doesn't give the power or soul charge needed, and the soul blast is a little bit expensive.
That's why everything in there, all the good support in the set, soul charges.
Yeah, I can see that. I mean, well, he doesn't. Well, he does. He does at the end of it. But, like, it's one of those things, like, you have to be able to do it at the end of it. We'll talk about Harry in the appropriate time. So let's talk about Silverthorn Acrobat Leukemia. When this unit attacks a Vanguard, if you have an Vanguard with Lukia in the card name, plus 2k. Auto Rearguard, Soul Blast to Silverthorn. When this unit attack hits a Vanguard, pay the cost, search your deck for 1 Lukia, put it into your Soul, shuffle your deck. That's whatever. So there's some Lukia that do have abilities, in Soul and otherwise. And it can be comboed out to get a beefy unit to attack. However, I do not think that she is really... I would rather run the Dragon and the thing that gets plus 3k every time you summon something out, and the cards that put cards in the Soul, than her, just because I don't feel the abilities are strong enough to really justify it too well. However, for the abilities that require multiple different grades, she's pretty great, especially for thinning out the deck. Gun Salute Dragon, end of stage. The gun that has one of the most obtuse, I'm going to say, infinite loops about it, that the autists of Vanguardians still figured out within, I want to say, 2 days of it being released.
No, I mean the one that can keep restanding on
Yeah.
itself, assuming you can get it off.
I saw, pretty much. And I'll go over the combo real quick while we're talking about it. Auto, when this unit's placed on Vanguard, rides a grade 3 unit. So in other words, when it break rides, so in other words, they know what's going on. They looked at the combo, figured it out, and said, it doesn't matter. Auto, Vanguard, Counterblast 2, choose 4 of your rearguards, put them into the Soul. At the end of battle, this unit attacked. If you do not have any cards in your Soul, you may pay the cost if you do stay in this unit. When this unit attacks a Vanguard, you may put all the cards from your Soul into your drop zone. This unit gets plus 5k for every card done so. So basically, you run Elemental that Soul Blasts 2 to Countercharge 2, the Clown that Soul Charges 2 when it's placed on rearguard, and 2 Bunnies. So basically, end of battle. That's another sign that they knew what the combo was and didn't care. So basically, you ride it over Miracle Pop Eva, who takes 2 cards from your Soul and slides them back in, and you summon out 2 different ones. And you basically swing, like, let's say you started out with it, you're in the middle of it, Okay. So you attack. You countercharge 2. You put the 4 rear guards in. So the thing about it, it's not possible. Is it possible? I'm going to look up Miracle Papa Ava. Because people have been talking like it's possible the entire time, and I've just realized it might not be possible at all. But a lot of people have been talking big shit about it. Where's my Cardfight Vanguard? Search. Actually, hold on. I'm just going to do it like this. Fuck. Sorry, guys. I just want to satisfy my curiosity for this. Grade 3. Okay. And one skips this. Nixie number, Pulsar. Wait, where's the Mega? Miracle. Alright, Miracle Pop Ava. Till in turn, this unit gets plus 10k. Choose 2 of your Pale Moon rearguards, put in the Soul. When this unit attacks, pay the cost. You do choose 2 Pale Moon from Soul, call them separate rearguards. Okay. How does this work then? Because I know what the combo is. You break right this. Unless it's a break right I just don't know about. You must put in 2 cards from Soul. So this unit swings. Choose 2 cards from Soul, put it in. They come out. Choose 2 Masquerade Bunnies, pull them out. If you do not have any cards in Soul, pay the cost if you do stay in this unit. Hanson? Kitty, are you there?
Yep.
How does the Infinite Loop combo work? I don't think it can work.
Because
Because
it's very contingent on
Miracle Pop Eva, right?
Yeah.
But the thing is, Miracle Pop Eva has an absolute cost of putting 2 cards into Soul. He requires 4 cards to go into Soul. Now, the problem with that is that how his ability works and how Miracle Pop Eva's ability work is that there won't be any cards in Soul to use for either of their skills. Because cards don't magically come out of the Soul for Miracle Pop Eva.
Let me see Ava real quick. I could have sworn it was Ava, but...
I mean, like, I've only got it on Pale Moon and Gear Chronicle because I was too lazy. But basically, choose 4 rear guards, put them in the Soul. No rear guards come out of this guy's ability. So... Till in a turn. Hold on.
There's another card that when you're that on swing you call things out.
Right, but it would have to be a break ride.
No, it's a rear guard.
It's a rear guard?
Yeah.
No, the 4 rear guards that are required are the bunnies and the Soul Blast 2 on flip for every gray elemental, and then the guy who soul charges 2.
They must have come up with a new one because, like, literally 2 days afterwards, it was.
Because I was looking around things, and I know for sure that there aren't any other break rides.
I don't know. I say.
You know, how about you take a look at it and see if you can find anything about it. I don't think the infinite loop combo that people have been talking about for weeks works. And if there's something I'm missing here,
it's not infinite. It's just.
Well, it's infinite until you run out of deck.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't require any cards from hand. So yeah, I think that's the reason why they weren't too worried about it. Also, hold on though, it gets auto Vanguard. I think actually, hold the phone. I think there might be a misprint in this. Just because how it's worded doesn't even work. Counterblast 2, end of battle scene attacked if you do not have any cards in Soul. Yeah, so when this unit is placed on Vanguard, rides a grade 3 until in a turn it gets auto Vanguard Circle, Counterblast 2. Choose 4 rear guards, put them into the Soul. At the end of battle, this unit attacked. If you do not have any cards in Soul, pay the cost if you do stand this unit. Okay, no, it does work. Okay. Is that how it's worded here? Yes. Okay. All right, we're good. So the problem is that even though it does work to restand once for sure, it does not work with the idea that Miracle Pop Beauty works. Because the Miracle Pop Beauty Eva requires 2 cards to go in the Soul for her to use her skill. So I don't know what people were talking about then. Maybe I'm missing something. But a lot of people talk like it was serious. And I don't think it works out. Unless there's a grade 1 unit that you can spam, a back row unit that you can spam, or a front row unit, to get cards out after the main phase. However, I cannot think of them. Hopefully Hanson will pop up. Because this will also mean that there won't be cards in Soul for this guy to use. So you're limited to exactly 4 cards in Soul. Now, when you summon them out, you're able to manipulate them so that you Soul Charge 2, then you Soul Blast 2, and then the blah, 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 and the bunnies go back out. And then you're back to 0.
Here it is. Okay, let's see. Okay, so yeah, you break ride. Ava, 2 brassy bunnies.
2 brassy bunnies.
I think that's this.
Yeah, I need to trim my nails.
Here.
All right.
I don't know the name.
Okay, that's fine. Okay. So there's a card called Saloon. Saloon?
It's
Not any of these.
her.
Cerne? Yeah, you're right. It is her. So hold on. Let me. But it's Silverthorn only.
Is it?
Yeah.
Let's see.
So it's choose a card from your hand, discard it, put this in a Soul, into battle unit boosted, a Vanguard, pay the cost, choose a card from your Soul with Silverthorn, and then it's with Silverthorns. And you have to have a Vanguard
so
with loop here.
let's just read the steps out loud.
Sure.
Okay, 4 damage.
Yep.
Have 2 or more Cray Elementals in G zone.
Uh-huh.
Have Miracle Pop Ava as Vanguard.
Right.
Break right into Gun Salute.
Uh-huh.
Go.
So you attack. I'm sure.
Call 2 Brassy Bunnies. That.
Uh-huh.
Silverthorn. The Cray Elemental and Tumbler.
Right. That's the one who soul charges 2 when it's placed on rearguard from soul.
Attack with end of stage.
Uh-huh.
With Saloon's boost.
Right.
Eva's Break Ride. Do not activate.
Okay.
That's
Not that it would change anything.
Put 4 rear guards, except Saloon, to the soul and stay in Vanguard.
Alright, so put him in the soul, stay in Vanguard. So what's the next bit?
Use Saloon's skill to put her into the soul.
Okay.
Call her back out behind.
That doesn't work.
How does it not work?
Because it had... Oh, wait, no, you're right. It does. So you do summon her back out stood, because you have to choose a Silverthorn, and she is a Silverthorn.
And since Saloon called herself back out, Brassy Bunnies called themselves back out.
There we go. That was the missing piece. All right.
Attack
So
with Bunnies and Vanguard.
Right. No.
Attack with Saloon boost. Uses Ava's
Put
skill
the bunnies
put
in.
2 bunnies back to soul.
Put in the Soul
Call
Charger and
Tightrope
Unflipper.
Tumbler and Tier. Soul Charge 2.
Unflipped. Soul Blast 2, Unflipped 2.
Counter Charge 2 with Tier.
Uh-huh.
Units are called from Soul, so call Bunnies out again.
Okay. You know what? All right, so I see how it works now. The missing object was this, and the fact that she can summon herself out. But here's the thing, though. That's still so fucking
So I was trying
complicated.
to remember what it was. This one.
Yep. So this is the key of everything that I was missing. However, I do not think much of her or the combo still, especially since you have to dedicate your entire Grade 1 lineup to this.
Run 5.
Yep, pretty much. It's a run 5 situation. So, all right. Thank you for Kitty for helping me figure this out. I keep forgetting that Cernay is a thing, especially since the name changed and confused me. However, I should have just recognized the top hat. That's my bad. All right, so we got Gunslow. I bet that I'm going to have YouTube comments like, man, this is how you do it. And it's like, yeah, I figured it out with Kitty's help. So, anyway, Jester, Demonic Dragon, Wandering Dragon. When this unit is placed on G, Soul Charge 1, choose a card from Soul, call it to G. I do like that skill. He doesn't replace all my Chainsaw Mega Trick Furnival, but he would be a close one. Like, he would be the one I would run over the one that came out with that other Stride. That makes you discard a card for Pissant advantage. Still pretty good, though. I do like him. I think I'll run one. Just one, though. Crudelius Dragon Master Janet. Auto Cannonblast 1. Choose one card from choose one of your rearguards and put it into the soul. When this unit is placed on Vanguard, pay the cost. If you do, choose a card from your soul, call it to rearguard, plus 2k, and until end of turn, if you call the Magi, give me Soul Charge. I do like this as a starter. However, I have a pretty good Stride setup with the Pale Moon deck that I will show you guys when I actually update everything. I have not had much time. I've been a very busy man. It's good shit, though. I'm glad I figured out helped figure out the infinite combo with Hanson. Otherwise, I would have been very disappointed, very angry that people have been talking so much shit. In a way. So, first off, we have Lovely Companion. Lovely Companion's skill is a perfect shield, and she has Magia. No? Yes. Auto G Break 2. Soul Blast 1. This is placed and retired from G. When she is retired from G, if you have a Vanguard with Harry, pay the cost. If you do, choose a grade 2 from your soul, call it to rear until end of turn. And then put the unit into the soul. I do like it just for the fact that it does that. I kind of wish it returned to hand, but this is better than the other card, which counterblasted.
No.
What?
I mean, counterblast, but it's not better.
Well, I like it better.
The other Hoopmaster gave the unit called Intercept and 5,000 shield. So if you called it Trigger, 15k shield.
You know what? You're right. But the trade-off, I think, is that it's only a Soul Blast.
Yeah, I mean that's
the thing. Like, and You can build defensively around this. I don't think it deserves the G-Break 2, but I like the fact that it's Magia.
I mean, it's preference.
Yeah. Now, don't get me wrong, I do like Hoop Master, but I've been kind of waiting for something more like Lovely Companion, and I like the art a lot. Face Magician Lapin. Act, Magia, Rearguard, once per turn, G-Break 2, Counterblast 1, if you that's a lot. It's basically a half a line. Eventually we'll just get all the way to the over. If you have Vanguard with Harry, choose a grade 1 from Soul, call it to Rearguard, and at the end of turn put that unit called into the Soul. So you can use it to get Cutie Paratrooper, and then get a good column. That's what you use it for. Auto Rearguard, and by the way, you'll have GB2 automatically. There's like 3 different ways to get GB2 that are equally good. Whether you go Millward, not Masquerade, Prana, and Mephisto. That's right. Auto Rearguard, when this unit attacks, if you have a Vanguard with Harry, Soul Charge 1, this unit gets plus 2k, and if the Soul Charge unit has Magia, plus 3k. So it gets plus 5, which is okay, but then you combo it up with like Knife Thrower or others who get more power, and you can hit a pretty solid 27k.
The problem is, Harry, there's a good number of Magia cards.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of your Soul Charges aren't going to be Magia.
Yeah, unless you go full Magia.
Yeah.
Auto Soul, this is Silverthorn Dragon Tamer Lukier, replacing the grade 3 that was $40 from set 7 for years. For years it was an expensive card, and now we get a double rare. That's dirt cheap.
$6.
No, it's still $6?
Yeah.
I mean, it's not going to be there with the fact that everyone's flooding the market right now.
Right?
I know. I don't even put up cards up in the market until like a week later. I still have stuff from set 10 I just haven't put up yet because I don't like the price. And I can do other things with them too. And I'll be doing that with this too. Soul Blast, another Silverthorn. At the beginning of your main phase, pay the cost if you do call this card to Rearguard. If you have I see why they wanted to put a Lukier into the Vanguard, into the Soul. Plus 3k, and then in turn put this unit into the Soul. I still don't like that skill. I just don't. Like, it's, and I'm talking about the one that searches it out, put it in, because that's basically you're focusing away from the Soul Charge of generic Silverthorn for a lot of combos, for basically this combo, which Soul Blasts. Auto Vanguard. By the way, you might be like saying why I'm so negative on Soul Blasting and Pale Moon, and have enough excess soul of cards you don't need or don't want to get rid of, want to get rid of for it. Like, that's...
I do all the time.
What?
I do all the time in here.
I don't. Like, I have so many moving pieces, I just don't like Soul Blasting. And honestly, that's probably because of the decks we built. Like, you probably have a more generic Harry build, whereas I split in Nightmare Dolls, which have a lot of moving parts. Now, I don't regret that, but the sad thing is that I kind of have to move away from that. However, I still don't think Soul Blasting is an excellent is an excellent cost to have spammed within your deck. Eventually, it will fuck you over. Or force you to fuck over yourself. Auto Vanguard. When your G unit with Silverthorn, the card name Strides, during your turn, choose one of your Vanguards until end of turn it gets. Auto Vanguard. When your unit with Silverthorn, the card name is placed on Rearguard from Soul, plus 3k. And honestly, that's not a bad ability to give your Vanguard more power. I'm okay with that. I do like the fact that it gives out a lot of power, especially with the Lukier Stride and others. You can do quite a bit. Is that your Harry build? Nightmare Doll of the Abyss, Eleanor. Act, Vanguard, once per turn, choose a face-down Workroid in the G-Zone. So in other words, another Nightmare Doll ability. Or some other thing that can, like, I think, is Prana a Workroid? I have some in here. Prana is a human. It's a disappointment. Because she looks like a Nightmare Doll. That's a pity. If she was if Prana was a Workroid, she'd suddenly become good with this card. Just because you can then build up some Prana without having to spend for a lot of it non-advantage. But hey, what do I know? That's just a theory. Game theory. Choose a card from your hand, put it into Soul. I still don't like that ability. I still don't like it when you pay cost from Soul. But then again, if you run draws. Look at the 10 cards from the top of the deck. Search for one grade 3 Workroid. Place it in the Vanguard as Heart or Soul. shuffle your deck. If you put it as heart, put all the other heart cards into the drop zone. So basically, what you want to do is you want to ride Beatrice, and then you want to put a Nightmare Doll Alice into the soul with this ability. Not that it's restricted to Alice, it should be whatever you need, but I'm just saying, that's how you should do it. And the reason why they put the heart into the drop zone is that if you're on Alice, ride this, run a Beatrice, I think it's Beatrice, slide it underneath, and then you don't have Alice automatically there to use. Like, that's what they're talking about. That's why that cost is there. However, I don't think it hurts it too much, because I'm hoping people are smart enough to play around it. I'm hoping. I'm always disappointed, though. Mass Phantom Harry. Did you buy this one, Blue?
Yeah.
I really wish I pulled a Rummy Labyrinth rare, but this is the Rummy Labyrinth rare, and with your permission, I'll read from it.
Yeah.
Auto Vanguard once per turn. G-Break 2, Soul Countercharge 2, Countercharge 1. There we go. When your rear guard is put into the soul, pay the cost if you do choose a grade 3 card with Magia from your soul and put it into your hand. And that's pretty good, because it means that you'll stride next turn guaranteed without having to focus on having a lot of deck with Masquerade Bunnies in it. When this unit is placed on Vanguard, choose 2 cards from the top of the deck, put 1 card into the soul, 1 card in the bottom of the deck. And you know what? I can see why there's a bit of a better soul charge there. But Auto, Magia, Vanguard, Soul Blast, when your G unit strides, pay the cost if you do choose a card with Magia from the soul, call it to rearguard, and at the end of turn put that unit in the soul. I don't like the soul Blast, but you can soul charge pretty easily from cards like Cutie Paratrooper and the Grade 2, as well as a few other ones, like Lappin. However, I still feel that until you get a big soul, you kind of want to hold off on the soul charge. Then we'll talk about Venus Luquier. Auto Vanguard G-Break 3, choose 2 rearguards, Silverthorn, put them in the soul. When the unit attacks, pay the cost. If you do, you get a critical. And I don't really care for that. However, with cards like Luquier and others, you can give it a lot of power. So I think that's going to be okay. I just don't like it, though. I don't think it works well for this card. Like, it's a weird ability to have for a -2 from Soul, but then again, it does protect your units and it does send in for other abilities. And if you do it right. Then we have Act Vanguard once per turn, Counterblast 1, choose a face down card from your G zone, turn it face up. Same card name as this unit, so copy. If you have a heart card with Silverthorn, choose a card with Silverthorn, card name from Soul, call it to rearguard. So yeah, you basically Counterblast for 1. However, that does kickstart a lot of things, and it can just start getting going with it, all crazy like. All kinds of funky, and I love funk. People don't understand this about me, but I do love that funky music, white boy. Auto Vanguard G-Break 2. When this unit attacks a Vanguard, choose up to 1 card from your soul, call it to rearguard. And if that unit and this unit get plus 3k, and then that unit and this unit get plus 3k. I do like this skill a bit better than the other Harry skills, in the sense that if you're stuck and you can't stride, you can then get out some crazy shit, especially with the way I play the build.
Literally just won me games.
I know, right? Like, I've had so much fun just pulling this out, and then, like, I've had, like, I know. Like, you can just do it right if you get a Cutie Paratrooper or something like that, or a Puss in Boots, and just anything else. Just summon it out. Or, like, I've used Purple Trapezes, and then just, like, all of a sudden, I attack with everything, send out a Purple Trapezes, send things in, send things out. Like, all of a sudden, I'm swinging with, like, a 24k Alice plus the triggers I gave it. It's pretty nice. I kind of wish it sent something into Soul, but that would probably be too much.
No, it'd be perfect, actually.
Yeah. I mean, it's perfect in some ways, but it's like if you don't have to do it, you don't have to. Auto Vanguard, Magia, Counterblast 1. So, in other words, he does work with other Harry. When your G unit strides until end of turn, you may pay the cost. If you do, during your turn, pay the cost. If you do, Soul Charge 1. I'm going to put this down. Call it this card from Soul to rearguard plus 5k, and then end of turn put that unit into Soul. So in other words, if you play it with Cutie Paratrooper, you basically get 10k to a column. Now, just gonna pull out Harry real quick again. There's no Vanguard or rearguard skills, and I think that is a great pity compared to Night Rose.
Yeah.
And I think that, maybe they were trying to make something not OP, but
And you see, the thing is,
they need OP shit. Like, if you want Harry to be good and top as much as it could be.
Harry's
I'll
skills
back this way.
this card would be just as good as the other Harry if the skills were switched.
Oh yeah?
If the cost for the skills were switched.
Yeah.
If it was once per turn, Soul Blast, get a grade 3 from hand to hand,
From Soul.
or Counter Blast, call something.
Yeah.
That would be useful.
Yeah, like there's just a little bit of mismanagement with resources that kind of keeps Harry from being truly top tier. Now they're saying that they see a lot of Harry decks in their certain tournaments, but the problem is that information is only hearsay, as well as a weird infographic that has no actual proof attached to it. I have not heard of Harry topping shit. Now, keep in mind, it might be, and we're just not getting the results, or I'm just not in the circles that share these results. Honestly, if there is a site or a Facebook group that has the Japanese meta results that's in English, because I just don't have the brain power to spend time learning Japanese to translate it, with all the other stuff I do, link it. Link it in the comments below, and I'll be happy to check it out and talk about it in the next time I do this. Lastly, I sadly do not have an SGR Fairfield, but I did pull 5 SPs from my case. It was 2 Negro Songer 2s. It was great. Magia, Act, Vanguard, once per turn, Soul, G-Break 3, Countercharge 2, choose a card from your drop zone and Soul, and return the deck, which is good against decking out, which is important. Choose a card from your Soul, call it to rearguard. Until end of turn, it gets plus 10k and a critical. So, like, there's cards that you can run that are really good and have a lot of on hits, like Alice or the Lion. And by the way, this works with anybody. Act, rearguard, Soul Blast 2. Until end of turn, this unit gets plus 5k and cannot be chosen by card effects. Fuck you, Kagero. Fuck you. And Gear Chronicle 2. Fuck you guys, too. And then shuffle your deck. And at the end of turn, put that unit into the Soul. So basically, you do want to put triggers back into the deck, because you do shuffle. If you didn't shuffle, I wouldn't recommend them. I'd choose something that you actually need to pull out. But basically, let's just focus on Alice, just because I know the skill best offhand. She is on hit, Counterblast 1, go into Soul. Now, what makes her good is that because of all the Nightmare Doll support, you can give her boosters and more power and more abilities and all that jazz. Now, sadly, you can't use a skill where you flip it out for something and give it plus 5k. But what you can do is call it out directly, give it the Soul Blast ability, which, by the way, can be spammable. Because it doesn't have once per turn instant act. So you can give her, like, plus, let's say that this is the last turn. If you can't kill him now, you're dead. Guaranteed. Like, Final turn, because I'm dead otherwise. You can basically flip, like, even if they are in a position to take the double crit for whatever reason, like a card like Alice or a card like the grade 3 Lion or others can be used to get off multiple attacks. Like, and the fact that they have resist, basically. They have resist. Just makes them so much better and makes this card almost as good as the other in Stride.
But I think you might want to reread that resist it's given.
Cannot be chosen by card effects, yeah?
So whatever
it cannot choose itself?
Cannot be chosen by, it cannot be given effects.
Right. But natural effects still work.
Yes, but like I said, for instance, it calls it.
You're right. You can't get triggers.
Cannot give it triggers.
Honestly, I still would like. It's only in there to really fuck over Gear Chronicle and Kagero, which is good.
Well, that's the problem. It's like in Harry, it would be amazing, but there's just too many strides that need to be flipped over.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I was gonna take out one Prana, only run one Prana, so she doesn't need to have herself in for any actual skill.
Right. I don't like Prana. Fairfield's actually going to replace Prana for me. just because I really don't like discarding a card. So you're right, I was missing something on the fact that it cannot be chosen by your card effects as well. But just the fact that it's a vaguely immortal attacker for, what is it? Like 30, 25k guaranteed, makes it worthwhile. And, there's other effects too, like you can give it another plus 5k if you use Darkside Princess, or purple, not purple trapeze, what's the other one? I can't remember, but basically there's one that gets plus 3k when it's called out. It's from the comic collection. You know it.
I'm trying to think of its name.
It's somewhere. If I had my deck on me, I'd show you guys. I'm running it. But basically, there's a bunch of stuff that can give you more power to hit above just like a 24k that you can run with it. And Lapin too, actually. I guess would be the modern one that's been within this stuff, because you can then hit like 29k, 30k, because I know it doesn't get like 16k. Also cards like Knife Thrower, Knife Juggler, and what was the other one? I can't remember it, but there's another one that gains a lot of power when it's summoned out, like plus 5k.
It is Knife Juggler.
Yeah, Knife Juggler is a grade 1 though. I think there's a grade 2.
Yeah, there's a grade 2 copy of it. I just don't know what it is.
Yeah, but
Kitten Juggler? No.
Kitten Juggler. It's adorable. Oh no, it dropped one. Looks like this. Anyway, there's a lot of things you can do with Fairfield more than Dragoot, and I think Fairfield will actually see play. All right, guys. Oh wait, there is a promo, isn't there?
Did we get a promo?
Yeah, it was with the thing. Hold on. It's the 14k attacker, and I think it's a counterblast, summon something out to the same column as the unit. I'll be back in a second while I look for it. I do recognize it on sight once I see it. There's the Harrys, there's Gun Salute. Yeah. I miss Dark Illusionist Robert. I like him.
Yeah.
He was great. Barking Dragon Tamer? No. No, where is it? I can't see it anywhere. Man, this Pale Moon thing is just not going as smoothly as I'm used to. Wait, there it is. Mysterious Creator. Auto Rearguard Circle G-Break 1. When this unit attacks a Vanguard, it gets plus 4k until end of battle. And then Auto Counterblast 1. When this unit is placed on Rearguard from Soul, pay the cost. If you do, choose a card from Soul, call to Rearguard, same column as this unit until end turn, put the unit back in the Soul. So basically, and it's this one, and it came in with the as the promo. Whoops, for.
Oh, see, I haven't seen that.
Yeah, it came in as a promo with the pre-release kits. And actually, thinking about it, it would be an excellent choice to run with Fairfield, just because the fact that it gets 19k plus a booster like, not 19k, 29k, plus a booster like Knife Juggler, which is boosted up to 41k crit to cannot be chosen by card effects. That's what we're doing. That's what we get. And I'm happy to have brought it to you. All right, guys, like, comment, and subscribe. Come to the May 20th stand-up series if you want to see me be me, or if you want to see other people, I guess. I love you guys. I love you, Otaku G and Tyler and all that jazz. And I hope to see those who can come. Please come by at the very least. You can order these mats online at the IYG shop. And that's really everything. I'm going to go to the Friday tournament, but first I'm going to get some lunch at King Edward's. Zulier, the Mercenary King, signing out. No.
Hey guys, Camille here. May 20th is coming up and people have been asking about the IYG stand-up series. So I brought a special guest to help me explain.
Hello, Camille.
Diesel, why are you talking like that?
This is the promo, right?
Tell him about the tournament.
The IYG stand-up series starts at 10 a.m. with a time to register for the tournament.
Beat the line by registering online. Singles will be at the event as well as other cool merchandise.
Each round will be best 2 games of 3 in Swiss format.
That means you're not out if you lose.
At the end of the day, there will be a cut to top 8, where best 2 of 3 continues in single elimination format.
At least half a case of Vanguard will be given across the top 8, not to mention another special prize. Will you be playing Diesel?
Sorry, I fight for my friends.
Oh geez. Join us at Yeti Gaming May 20th.
And if you can make it, locals May 19th at 6:30 p.m.
Stand up, Vanguard.